In this video, we will be talking about IT in teaching and learning. E-learning or electronic learning is a general phase given to any teaching method that uses information technology. Tele-learning takes place when the teacher and student are in geographically separate locations Tele-learning or distant learning. It is commonly used when the students cannot physically attend class for reasons including ill health, moving home, or a need for need to look after children or relatives. As you can see, these cadets or other officials are learning about a new operation and more information via remote connections from each other. Basically what's happening is that this commander here is telling these people over here how to do their job, basically from a different location from where they are, because as you can see, he is physically not standing in the presence of them. He is on the screen and he is in a separate location. So that pretty much sums up tele-learning. It's pretty much when there's two people that are connected via like a webcam or some other form of communication to make it so that they can actually communicate and actually have their video together. Okay, the next thing I'd like to talk about is virtual learning environments. Virtual learning environments, or learning platform, is an educational system based on the web that models conventional real-world education by providing equivalent virtual access to classes. Basically what it is, if you ever heard of like Florida Virtual School in the state of Florida, or other such virtual learning environments, basically what it is that it's a self-paced, most of the time, way of learning that uses all of these different ways to teach you in different ways. Like there's more intense thing, there's video collaborators, virtual students, their environment and their learning, multimedia, podcasts, and basically there's a lot of very different IT ways to teach someone how to do something differently without the student actually physically having to be in the classroom. There are many advantages and disadvantages of VREs. Some advantages could be that the course material can be deployed over a large number of students compared to a traditional classroom environment, which basically means that that they can deploy the same amount of curriculum with one teacher over a wider spread area than a traditional teacher could, say, for 25 students in the state of Florida. It does not require a web development experience because usually they're already set up and everything. There's more quality of access because everyone will have the exact same equal access to something. Well, I mean, the only real limitation would be if the student did not have a computer, which the student could not have a virtual learning environment if they were not part of if they didn't have a computer. And travel costs can be lower for students and teachers because they don't have to travel to and from school. The disadvantages are rather daunting, though, as that there's no face-to-face interaction in the traditional classroom, which is considered by some people to be very, very important, which actually I don't think even some people, I think everyone likes some human interaction now and then. There's a lot of coordination involved with virtual learning environments because sometimes the student can be living in different states or different time zones, so it'd be hard to it can be hard to actually connect on time. And then there's a lot of hardware requirements such as a webcam or high bandwidth internet to make sure that these students can actually learn effectively. The next thing I'm going to talk about is asynchronous learning. Asynchronous learning is a student-centered teaching method that uses online resources to facilitate information sharing outside the constraints of time and place among the network of people. Basically, what asynchronous learning is that there is one person, and in this case it is the computer, as you can see, and it's this one computer who is getting the golf instructions. And this little device network is sending all the instructions to all of these people. And all of these people do not have to work in, and as you can see, all the red lines are going to the people, and they're not connected this way. And so what is happening is that this guy, let's call him Bob, and this guy, let's call him Joseph, and they're both learning about golf differently and at their own pace than, say, Peggy over here. Basically what's happening is that each individual person can learn at their own specific pace, and they can just do however they would like and just do whatever they would like. So asynchronous learning basically means is that the information is distributed to each of the students, and you can take as much time, well, I mean, not as much time, but the time that you would need to actually learn the material on your own time scale. Next thing I want to talk about is synchronized learning. Synchronized learning is a traditional teaching method. Synchronized learning refers to a learning environment where everyone takes part in the same time. Basically, lecturing is considered synchronized learning because this lecturer here, Dr. is actually lecturing to all these students here and telling them the information that they need to know. And basically what is happening is that the lecturer and all the people are getting the same information at the same time, and they don't really have the same, they can't really teach themselves at different rates or anything. So it's the polar opposite of synchronized learning, and basically synchronized learning is you're all in the same boat doing the same thing, and asynchronous learning is you're all by yourself doing anything you can. Next thing I want to talk about is mobile learning. Mobile learning, or M-learning, is a different meaning for different communities. Although it's related to e-learning, basically what mobile learning is using anything that's mobile to make it so that you can actually learn. So there's various different devices such as PDAs, laptops, tablet PCs, game consoles, smartphones, mobile phones, hybrid devices, media players, and ultra-compact computers that basically make it so there's different ways for these students to be able to learn. Basically what the teachers are using is they're using all the different peripherals they have at their advantage to make it so that they can actually teach the students more effectively and using it at their own time advantages. So basically what this is just teaching the student and making it so the student is more capable of learning and more at their own pace. This is usually an emphasis on asynchronous learning, but synchronized learning has catch up to this where they would post something online or where there would be something and then they all have a group discussion online or something like that. And then the sources I had in this video were Information Technology and a Global Society for the International Baccalaureate Program by Stuart Gray. Thank you for watching this video and have a great day.